In the early days of March 2003, Saddam Hussein was in a hopeless situation. The US and its allies' invasion of Iraq was inevitable, and the regime that had ruled the country for decades was about to crumble. Saddam Hussein's hold on power was not just fragile, as it had been during the Gulf War, but completely doomed. Amidst all this chaos, many conspiracies were being plotted to put the Iraqi dictator out of harm's way and into safety. In recent memory, we can think of the example of Bashar al-Assad, who fled to Russia when his country was being overtaken once and for all. Saddam needed allies, and it's one thing to flee from rebels to a nearby powerful ally, and it's totally another to flee from the world's biggest superpower with almost no nearby country willing to shelter you. But while Saddam's fate hung in the balance, an extraordinary statement surfaced from a surprising source: Stanley Ho, Asia's most powerful casino magnate. According to Ho, in an interview with the English-language newspaper the South China Morning Post, he was told by senior North Korean officials that North Korea would be willing to shelter Saddam Hussein and that they were offering a sanctuary for him and his family on a mountain. Yup, a mountain. But who exactly was Stanley Ho? And what are his North Korean connections? Hey everyone, you can call me Hadushi. This is my first YouTube video, so please like, subscribe, and share it with other people. It will motivate me a lot to keep producing more content and making your day a little happier. I'm going to let Stanley Ho himself explain the origins of his family. In an interview, Stanley Ho says, "I came from one of the richest families in Hong Kong, maybe ranking in the first 10. I'm the great-nephew of Sir Robert Ho Tung, who was known all over the world. Like him, my father was also very rich. He was a director and comprador of the Sasson. All the family was very wealthy, so in my young days, I was very spoiled. My house is in McDonald Road, one of the best areas in Hong Kong. Its garden was so big you could have races there. We were one of the first families to own motor cars and pleasure boats, and to have a holiday resort in Stanley. That's why my name is Stanley. But then, my father became completely broken after heavy speculation on Jordane's shares. My father was so broken, and it was such a loss of face for him that he left for Saigon, in Vietnam, leaving my mother without a single dollar." Stanley was a dedicated student in school, topping his class, then later being accepted at the University of Hong Kong. Thanks to his family connections, he got some important jobs, like teaching English to Colonel Sawa, the head of Japanese intelligence in Macau, and later smuggling luxury goods and food to Macau during World War II. Later in life, he decided to venture into the tourism industry, making bids to Macau franchises with the help of other tycoons like Henry Fok and Ip Han. In 1961, by offering to promote tourism and infrastructure, and with a bid of $410,000 American dollars, Stanley and his partners were granted Macau's gaming monopoly license. Their company was called Sociedade de Turismo e Diversões de Macau, STDM. Stanley later opened the Lisboa Casino Hotel, which became an icon of Macau. With 4 wives and more than 10 children, Stanley amassed a fortune of $15 billion and became truly the king of gambling. I personally would give him the King of Macau title. To understand why Stanley Ho became the spokesperson on Saddam Hussein's possible escape to North Korea, we need to look at Stanley's unusual business ties with North Korea. In the late 1990s, Macau became one of North Korea's main financial channels to the outside world. In 1996, Hong Kong businessman Albert Yeung So Shing obtained an exclusive license to operate casinos inside North Korea. He later sold part of that license to Stanley Ho. Then, in 1999, Ho opened a $30 million casino right in Pyongyang, located astonishingly close to the headquarters of the ruling Workers' Party. This wasn't just a casino project, it was the beginning of a financial relationship between Macau elites and the North Korean government. North Korean officials and intermediaries routinely visited Macau, giving Ho direct access to circles that most foreigners could never reach. I also must mention rumors that Kim Jong-nam, the older half-brother of Kim Jong-un, was friends with Saddam's sons, Uday and Qusay. I sadly couldn't find much on this information, but interestingly enough, Kim Jong-nam lived in Macau with his children after he had left North Korea. Uncle Stanley's connection to North Korea didn't end there, and neither did the controversies. Another figure tied closely to Stanley Ho's activities was Wong Sin-hwa. In the 1990s, this Wong guy reached an agreement with Ho's STDM to run a VIP gaming room in the Mandarin Hotel, but Wong's influence extended far beyond Macau's casinos. Back in 1990, he had been appointed North Korea's unofficial representative in Macau, allowing him to issue DPRK visas through his own travel agency. He also worked alongside Zokwang Trading, Pyongyang's main commercial arm in the city, which abruptly left Macau in 2005 after its bank, Banco Delta Asia, was hit with US money laundering sanctions. Ho and Wong's connection actually began earlier. In the 1980s, the two jointly invested in Pyongyang's massive Yanggakdo Hotel, which finally opened in 1995 and became one of North Korea's best-known foreign-run projects. Wong stayed on good terms with the Ho family, but when he borrowed casino money and didn't pay most of it back, Pansy Ho, Stanley's favorite daughter and my crush, stepped in. She bossed him, suing him, and making him pay for it. There's also just a lot of bad blood between North Korea and Macau. For example, in 2015, there was also a mysterious death that shook Macau. Lai Man-hwa, the city's customs chief, was found dead in a public restroom. Police said it was not a homicide, but many people doubted that. One widespread theory claimed the death was linked to a shipment of rare agarwood seized in Macau. North Korea had allegedly been trying to sell the valuable wood overseas, and some believed the seizure angered North Korean operatives. In an interview on the question of Iraq, it was asked to Stanley in 2009, "Once you said to reporters you were ready to bring Saddam Hussein to exile in North Korea, therefore avoiding US invasion. It didn't work that way. What do you think about it now, after Saddam's execution and all this bloodshed in Iraq?" I feel very sad, and I'm afraid if the Americans, as they've already announced, send 25,000 more troops to Iraq, the bloodshed will go on. My proposal was never accepted, so there was nothing else I could do. Of course, I'm not a politician, I just wanted to help. Maybe there's an alternate reality where Saddam accepted the offer and his family and Kim Jong-un's family are now enjoying a happy day together on some North Korean mountain. Also, can this video reach Hana Hussein and Pansy Ho? Write to my email in the description section if you manage to do that. I want to try something funny. Anyway, thanks for watching, and please subscribe guys. See you on the next one. Hadushi out!